Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tenacious the Human, and welcome back to our King Arthur campaign. You join me outside Pendragon here in North Italy, where Bedivere is ready to go and relieve the siege. It's been a few turns later than last time, and Herennius Calvinus from the Eastern Territories, the Briton, has come to put us under siege. There are reinforcements coming, so whilst I probably could hold out in an actual siege attack, I think it's best to head in pretty darn soon, actually. So Bedivere army is going to come to relieve it. Now you can see here that the towns are starting to get emptied out. That's because I've organised my armies in the intervening turns here. We have Mordred over here, who's actually taken over from Pelias at this point. I sent him off to go clear up a few little units, and he's actually picked up a bit of command. The game puts him ahead of his father at this point, which is most marvellous indeed. So we have ourselves some very nice armies here. You see Arthur the Killer is squaring up to Gaius Regilius over here, who is of course the chap with all the urban cohorts. So we'll be careful about him when we head in, but I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. My other battles seem to suggest that we're in a good position. Let's just get rid of that assassin. Keep them all gone for the meantime. A bit more. Oh yeah, Master of Assassins for Brigomanus the Killer. I guess he's the one who hired him. No, that's actually just him. Okay, he's a Master of Assassin. I thought that was the trait for the faction leader or the general who hired him. But no, that is just him. He's up to very much full at this point by the looks of it. Looking very strong indeed. Good news, because we need to clear out a few of their assassins. Hopefully then move on to one or two of the leaders. Now, of course, Levarvum is now pretty safe. We've got the force over here holding the ground with Bedivere, the world's most uninteresting man. He's now a punisher. Well, you know what? He enforces the law. That's all we'll say about him. And in the north, of course, we have ourselves the German towns sort of very much tied up at this point. Now, you might think, what is this small army I'm sending? It's the chariot army, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to this. There's a few warhounds in there as well. You know, you've got to keep some men into the battle. We're going to send those forward. Ooh, Barbarian Noble Cavalry. They have a lovely, lovely shade of pinky red there. That would suit my good old logo very well in good branding there. I like it. But yeah, we're going to send him forward to go and take on any Germans who want to give us a little poke. So marvellous news, that marvellous news. Otherwise, I think we'll just have to get ourselves a second army back here with some of the infantry and send it forward with good old Gahares of Lothian. We are lacking some generals back here. We still very much need some of them being pumped out. Over here we are sending some lovely cataphracts to go and support us in North Italy. We haven't really had enough of these guys. Yeah, sometimes when they take two turns we spend a bit of time waiting and we never really get round to it. Elsewhere we do have ourselves plenty of boats endlessly turning up. I've already pushed out an invasion or two already. Probably need to get these guys. Yeah, they're gonna get killed at the end turn, aren't they? Looks like it. And over here we are just holding. I refuse to spend some of my money in this part of the world though, because we're starting to have a grip loosen just a little bit. But one more turn we get the market. We'll get a spy out of here. We'll have a little bit more to go and just make sure we know what's going on before we attack Egypt, because I think we're just going to have to go and get the Pyramid of Giza at this point. And I don't know, we'll probably just go and kill Numidia while we're there. Might as well go and grab Susa and have the eastern end of North Africa all to ourselves. I think that's a sensible plan. But yes, to start with, I think we very much need to be heading in to a few of these battles over here. We have Arthur the Killer, of course, and also Bedivere. You know what, let's go with Arthur straight away. It is, after all, his campaign. So it's 3-2. Been a little bit worried, but yeah, I think we'll be okay. We just need to be a little bit careful. They are very much lacking in the cavalry. 1 unit of Equites, 2 units of legionary cohort, and the general. Actually, that being said, we aren't exactly super dominant in that regard, but I reckon with what we've got, we can take those out, and then we can just try and outmaneuver the dogs. The missiles, a bit of druid work will help us out there. My plan is simple enough. Then I got most of my forces out there on one particular flank. Now, most of my forces are hiding in the forest altogether. That is the core of the infantry, the missiles, the dogs, etc. As for all of these guys, we are going to get ourselves around them as much as possible. Now, they seem to be trying to avoid us because they obviously don't know that these guys are even in there. But that's fine. We'll just see if we can try and pull out a couple of their horses. Yeah, at the moment, because they're just dancing around us, they're just trying to straight up to the force they can see. Tell you what, we'll leave these guys back here and we'll get the light chariots over on the flank. That'll work for us. That will hopefully pull them into position we want. Oh, if I got them right at the edge of this forest here, actually, we could just start to lay a trap on them out of the forest. But that's not really the plan I really want to go for here today. I kind of like teasing around them just a little bit here. We might actually be able to turn them towards the forest and then get them attacked by our troops. I'm going to make that work for us. We'll see about that. You guys get a little bit more square up to them. We'll see. They're getting themselves surrounded at this point, and that very much suits me. If I can get some of these cav out here, that will be marvellous. Now, they don't really have the archers here, do they? It's just our archers shooting them. We've got all of the range, so we've got the range. We just need to take care of their cav, and then we'll have the cav superiority as well. So if we can just clear out... Yeah, these equites are going to get really badly weakened, which means there'll be a rout nice and easily. That works for me. These equites are going to get themselves murdered. Lovely stuff. Cataphracts can get themselves lined up for a charge. Everyone over here, just pull out. Just pull out. Don't let them throw their javelins in. That is absolutely fine by me. Yep, and we are going to get into those guys. You guys go and charge into them as well. That'll be lovely. Urban cohort are obviously strong, but they're going to break very easily if indeed we charge them with all of our lovely chariots. Now, you guys, all of you, pull out a little bit. We just need to be a bit careful with this. Don't want to get myself too stuck in the corner here. Let's go round. We're putting them apart all over the place at this point, and it means there might well be an opportunity to come and strike. Yeah, get the legionary cavalry. Get them now. That looks very good for us. Legionary cav need to get taken on. These guys are just far enough away where I think we can get away with it. No, they're just turning back, but we might be able to catch them before the legionary cohort become too much of a problem. Right, all of you pull out, 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 pull out. No, they've got their general in here as well. We're going to struggle. You need to pull out. Your power is not... Your power is definitely not in just holding in battle the whole time. Right, you guys likewise do the same. They are not listening. Damn it, barbarians. Okay, we've done what we wanted to here. It's working, but we need to be very careful that we don't make any stupid errors, because we do still have a bit of a problem. Yeah, good. Pull them over here. Pull all of my chariots into their general. That's what we want. Good. Right, all cav, reconvene over here. And that means we're going to start pulling them towards our infantry trap as well. This is good. This is good indeed. That is the general running away. Okay, he might well come back into it, but I can't really afford to chase him right now. Might just pick him off with some arrows. Oh, we need the chariots. Chariots, chariots, chariots. You take care of them. I don't want the cataphracts to be getting hit by the dogs. I don't know if cataphracts can handle it. I don't know if the dogs go up from underneath to cause them all sorts of problems. They might do, you know, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem. Unfortunately, the general continues to flee, and we're not going to catch him unless he comes back into battle. We are going to start just throwing ourselves at them, see what damage we can cause. Just a bit of a poke. Yeah, they've broken before we've even hit them. That is magnificent news indeed. Pull out of there, please. Don't want any unnecessary deaths, but we will just have a little bit of a rake around with the chariots. Come on, everyone, back into position over here. Thank you very much. Lovely stuff. I think at this point, we need to go and get ourselves safe. This chariot is stuck, but it's not King Arthur, so I'm not so worried at that point. They don't seem to want to get pulled right into my infantry, so I might actually just start moving this line forward. Because at this point, I think we're strong enough just to start taking them on. So we're now going to emerge out of the forest. I think they're going to be fairly terrified by that little predicament. Lovely stuff. Right, a few javelins coming in. If you're very careful about that. King Arthur is right in the middle of the battle here today. So, yeah, we need to be a little bit careful about that. But he seems to be safe enough for the time being. We can get all of our chariots around this flank. Apart from the general himself, King Arthur might as well get himself back into this sort of position behind his infantry line. We need to keep their morale up. So you, sir, join that force, and that'll be magnificent. You join up with them. Fine. These guys over here, then, we need you to get in a position ready to hit that flank when it comes to it. We're just doing a little bit of a shuffle here, getting ourselves ever closer to their line. And as we do that, I think they're going to very easily break, actually, because I'm going to start setting the dogs on right about here, because we're also going to hit them with our chariots and that end of their line. Lovely stuff. Right, get the dogs in. Get the dogs into all their various lines. You guys get yourself onto war cry. You two get yourselves onto war cry. Chariots, you start piling into that urban cohort. Cataphracts, get yourself round the back. And infantry, charge! 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 You get in there. You get in there. You get in there. You get in there. And head hurlers, just start lobbing into the back. Druids, get yourself over there as well. General, get yourself into the back. Chariots are doing their work very nicely. Cataphracts need to hit them in the flank. It's just a full-on engagement at this point. Druids are in there. Just start your chanting. That'll be magnificent stuff. Lovely. So Cataphracts are going to hit them in the rear. That is doing the job. Just hold for long enough, please, guys. All the dogs, please just pull it out of there. I don't want you doing anything stupid. Yeah, they're going. They are absolutely being ripped to shreds. Lovely stuff. Good. We've broken them pretty much all. I don't know who's still fighting. Something isn't fleeing by the looks of it, but don't know who that is at this point. Just start charging them down. Those legionary chariots. Those legionary cohort are unfortunately going to get away, of course. Don't know what happened to the pigs. Pigs are here somewhere, but I don't see them actually being let loose. Obviously missed that. I can't really tell who's fleeing or not because their colours are obviously like the same as mine or near enough. They're as close as any faction is to my colour. So I'm struggling to see what I can do. Are those the piggies over there? I think that might be the piggy men. There. Well, no, that's war dogs. Okay, well, somewhere the piggy men were around and they never set the pigs on fire. So no bacon today, but a good victory for us here at the start. Clear victory for us there then. A fairly strong looking army from them, but a little bit too infantry heavy, and that means we can take them out a mixture of chariots, dogs, just really fronting them up with pretty solid infantry with the Britons, it should be remembered. Yeah, that's a good victory for us. Unfortunately, the general does get away. I can't really do too much, unfortunately. I kind of missed him in the pile of flags. Our colours are way too similar, and I kind of missed him. Now, we could go and take on a little battle over here. I quite like this spot, actually. So I'm going to go and stand right there. I don't want it to be a sally battle, but I would like us to be out on these mountainous cliffies. Yes, those wonderful cliffies. Actually, these war dogs got themselves stuck in the melee a little bit too much. That's a bit irritating. And otherwise, we can probably just send a couple extra chariots to come and bolster our numbers. So these guys, you can probably just merge them, actually. That would be lovely if the game doesn't be silly about it. That was a bit unfortunate. Lost 2 experience there. Thought we might only lose 1, but it's not the end of the world. What should we do with Arthur then? We'll send him here. Actually, no, we'll send him to the edge of the mountain, much like the last chap. That's absolutely fine. Can we get ourselves more chariots here? Yeah, we had to retrain those in time. We can now retrain these, except I don't have the money, of course. Superior Commander for Arthur the Killer, as you might well expect. He's now up to 5. He's very much a confident attacker. He's Pillager, Victor, blah, 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 blah. He's looking pretty good, isn't he? But he still hasn't picked up his marvellous sword. He actually did a fair bit of battle there. So, a bit of a shame. But alas, it's probably time for Bedivere to get straight into battle as well. So, let's go and see what he has to take on again. Ah, yes, of course. Most Hastati. Have ourselves some of the town watch, some mercenaries. Yeah, big pile of mercenaries and Brutii, kind of pre-Marian troops. So not too much to worry about. My assassin annoyingly is actually stuck in the city, so we need to break the siege to deal with this guy anyway. So, into their factionaire, Hevronius Calvinus. Now, he has a few old titles. Yeah, he's been pretty much everything. but frankly he is incredibly average. Why he got all those titles I don't know. And you, sir, have the evil demon eyes of Appius there. I think you might have the same portrait, or at least you had the same eyes anyway. Captain Luca. Ah! Reinforcement army, a bit more of a kick in the teeth. Okay, got to bear that in mind. Now, what I want to do, I do not want Esclabor to be controlled by the AI at all. I just want to drip feed some reinforcements if I need them. I don't think we'll be needing him at all. We'll see, but if I need the drip fed forces, I'll have them. Let's hit in. Another big battle for us, an important one, but this means that we should be able to push back and start taking some of their Dalmatian territories. So let's hit in, let's take them out. Okay, we do want to front up to these guys fairly swiftly actually, and that is mainly because those reinforcements are no joke. Our reinforcements have turned up, have they? Oh god, the AI is controlling them even though I told them not to. Okay, well, hopefully no one dies who's important over there. Smacotes are fronting them up. I'm sure they'll absolutely demolish them. Let's not worry about that too much. Let's instead just get ourselves fronting up to these guys. We'll actually run into position because I would rather like to get there speedily, actually. Let's get these chariots in behind, at the very least, into position to give them a prod. Yeah, that'll work for me. So, what do they want to do? Chariots are over here. They are currently on skirmish. I'd like them to go off skirmish. I tell you what, Town Watch and Thracian mercenaries, that sounds like absolute fodder if ever I saw it, and it's not going to be well used fodder for that matter. I'm going to be slaughtering them. Fine, they are very stuck between which flank to take me on in, and they have broken, and to be honest, the Town Watch have lasted longer than I would ever expect them to. Maybe they have some experience on them, I don't actually remember. But there we go. Right, both cataphracts, you get yourself out to that flank. Let's get these chariots out here as well. We'll just start to pull them around. What are they doing back there? Get those Astarte, please, doggies. Bastane, you get hit by them as well. Lovely. Druids, start your doom chants. That'll be lovely. And to be honest, they are just all over the place, aren't they? Cataphracts, you get into those mercenary pelters back there. You hit those equites. And if I'm perfectly frank, yeah, I think we can be absolutely fine over here. Doggies, get away! Hit the Town Watch. Doggies, pull out of there. All three dogs. Just pull out. You, sir, are not doing anything yet. You go for the dog. You go for these guys as well. Let's send in our infantry to go take them on, pin them in position. Here come the cataphracts. I sent those in a while ago and they finally arrived. Lovely stuff. We are going to have these guys taken out without any problem, I think. Right, get the rest of you into battle. At this point, that's what we need to do. That's the general down. Didn't last very long, just as I would expect, frankly. So, they're pretty much entirely slaughtered. The reinforcements do want to come in, and frankly, if the reinforcement would have come in, they are very welcome to it. Oh, that is so annoying. I knew I shouldn't have put the dogs on them because we're not going to catch them. We're not going to catch them at all, are we? No. Just one is going to pull my entire force of dogs away. Never send your dogs onto cavalry. Actually, dogs are very good against cavalry, but it's just a waste unless you can pin them and take them all on. Right, infantry! Infantry! Get yourself repositioned over here, please. Reinforcements are fleeing, as you would probably expect. Fine. We're just going to mop up as much of this first army as you possibly can then. It might be a little bit tricky to catch them all. We'll do the best we can with it. Right, these Astarte do need to go down. If I'm honest, we can catch those chaps if we're lucky. The dogs seem to have actually changed their mind of where they're going, which is good to see. Just make sure we mop those up, although it does look like actually good old Bedivere is mopping up all of those. Right, well actually our reinforcement army coming in helped us out, as it turns out, because we had enough domination of the battle to just pull them apart and win. That's very good to see. Nice to not see them completely shredded. Normally the general goes to commit suicide. Particularly easy to do as the Britons, obviously. But yeah, we're just going to mop up whatever we can. Take them out. 1,000 to 2,000, 1,200 kills for almost nothing by them. I love it. Okay, yeah, you see, casualties sustained and inflicted. Very similar for their general, albeit not in our case. We very much slaughtered them. So. That is very good indeed. They, for some reason, have fled over there, which is hilarious because it may... Oh, no, Alpha the Killer can't reach it. That's annoying. Can Bedivere? Yes, he can. So, Bedivere, Bedivere, Bedivere. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. We will get you to go take on that army. They can't flee anymore. That'll mean we have a chance to, yeah, just reorganise here before we send the army back eastward in a turn or two. Better get rid of these guys. He's pretty good, actually. He's a spy, though, so not worth going for him. Just take out the assassin, 95% chance. The spy knew what was going on, but he couldn't do anything to stop him, which is just lovely stuff indeed. Right, we'll get the cutthroat out of the city just to make sure if they siege again that we've got him available. That's lovely stuff. And guess into the battle then with Captain Luca. Very common name I find for the Romans on this game. Take them on. Some lovely troops. They've got the Velite gladiators, who, I don't know, they're nice to have, but I always feel like you'd rather have 80 of a better unit, wouldn't you, really? But oh well, it's fun to use them occasionally. 2-to-1 ratio. This would be a pretty simple walkover. Let's head in. Very similar formation to last time then. I'm just going to have myself sit in like this. This time though, a little bit further spread with the infantry because we have the numerical advantage in terms of that. Cataphracts is in the forest for the moment. We have a bit of a poke at these guys. Do have some good cav, so don't want to get myself too cocky with those guys, but I fancy their chance against one unit by itself at the very least. So we're going to start moving forward. They're not going to come to us. The cataphracts might as well get themselves out of the forest and start lining up on the flanks. Tiny bit further, add a bit more of a sharp angle. Right there, Roman cav is going to come to me. That's indeed Roman cav. They are going to get slaughtered. Okay, you get out to that flank, but the other two just head straight in and get the flank in. Right, they are not in a good position. Okay, they are just charging. It's the legionary cav, so this is a bit of a... We're going to have to take a hit here no matter what, which is unfortunate. All infantry, just charge in at them, get the mass surrounding on them. Otherwise, to be honest, slingers, just pull yourself back. Head hurlers, just throwing at whatever. And war dogs, we might as well just send these in to do whatever nonsense we so wish. We're going to have to take a bit of a hit for the cavalry charge. No, they pulled out, which is hilarious because that really works in our favour. Get on those Vitellis. They're absolutely fine. Get the cavalry out here a little bit quicker. We are piling in on them. They do not like this whatsoever. They're routing everywhere. The gladiators actually aren't routing, which is the only problem I'm having with this particular affair here. Cataphracts get into the legionary cohort. We'll get some of the others to pin them in as well. We'll hit them in the flank with these guys. That is pretty much the only thing that's going to be standing here, isn't it? Yes, indeed it is. Right, those Praetorian cohort, need to be a little bit careful about them. Back into those Vitellites, please. And all of these infantry can surround them, take them on. We've cleared them out as well. Lovely stuff. It's just those gladiators who aren't dying at the moment. Pull out of the air. Just shoot them with your arrows, please. All infantry, head into the Vitellites. Now, I did say, oh, what's the point of them? No, actually, I kind of do like them, but they have shown that they can stand a little bit longer than some other troops sometimes, so well done to them. I don't think, though, they're going to last against all of these chosen swordsmen. No! Jumpy, jumpy, stabby, stabby, and that's victory for us. Marvellous stuff. This is indeed just a hunt. It is a dog hunt at this point. And yeah, very much a coward chase. I love having 4 units of war dogs. It is catastrophically strong. Barely even use the Knights of the Round Table in this campaign. To be honest, it turns out you don't even really need cavalry as the Britons because the chariots essentially do the job anyway. It's nice to have though. Certainly do help to get a nice charge in, but the chaos caused by the chariot seems to largely do the job anyway. Clear victory then, a very small amount of losses for us. The army is largely ready to keep going. Actually, the druids took a bit of damage, which is unusual. They don't normally actually get themselves into battle, but yeah, it took a few knocks there. I don't know if they got stuck in with the cavalry. Luckily the cavalry didn't actually finish their charge. The slingers got themselves out of the way. They pulled out. Lovely stuff. I do like the druids. I know I very rarely actually engage with them. They're really just a very last reserve and just there for the morale. But at least unlike most morale troops, like you kind of get in Barbarian Invasion where you get the the priests and things like that, these are pretty darn good in battle as well. Can't really argue with 14-14. Very good stamina, excellent morale, all the hiding and the combat bonuses. So they're very nice, aren't they? Probably time to just have a little check around, but I'm pretty certain I've done everything for this turn. It's been a long old start to the turn. At least half the episode just finishing off these battles here. But yeah, essentially we'll see where things go from this point. I've got to remember that's not my guy, is it? Colours are way too similar to these two factions, aren't they? But yeah, time to end our turn, see what happens. Yeah, one victory isn't going to be... No, one victory wasn't enough there. We needed to win several victories to make that work for us. And, unsurprisingly, we do have a big battle outside Arretium here. Captain Secundus is, yeah, for some reason, the first force. Captain Secundus with, ooh, some juicy troops to try and pick out before the main force gets out of the city. Marcus the Gambler here with a lot of early legionary cohort. Now, bear in mind, these are pretty darn solid. Main difference with the Principes, of course, is the morale bonuses that they get. Good morale, good stamina makes a big difference. Cavalry Auxiliary, actually not post-Marion. I always feel like they are because I don't think I ever get them until after the reforms. But that's just the way I go down the tech tree, I suppose. But yeah, they are fairly tidy. Don't use them much as the Romans, but they're nice to have, I guess. Yeah, I reckon because they're split up, we can win this without too much fuss. Try and hug the left side where we start. Because whilst the game's is 1-2, I reckon we've got this. That chariot should be fine. Just need enough infantry to hold. I'm fairly confident. So let's head in, see if we can take them out. First army coming in then, we need to make sure that our chariots take them out pretty swiftly actually. We'll get the cataphracts over here and see if we can give them a good poke in the flank. Don't think they're going to like it too much. But yeah, let's just pull straight out of there. I just want to give them a poke and then pull back out. Pull back out, don't be too impetuous. The rest of our force is getting into position and not the strongest force, it should be said. This is probably the third of our armies. And yeah, it's not the strongest in terms of the infantry. We've got a lot of swordsmen, so I've got my chosen swordsmen in as the auxiliaries just to try and keep me safe. We're going to smash into these guys over here. Be magnificent stuff. Now, if my cataphracts can just get into here, these guys will break pretty easily, I would think. Actually, they are Praetorians, but I think they'll break fairly easily. We're going to go and get some heads into them. They're not very happy. They're already wavering. Dogs are going to come in, and in will come our lovely friends, the cataphracts. Yeah, they're not happy about that whatsoever. Yep, cataphracts have done their work. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Where are the other cataphracts? They're hiding in the forest back there. You get into the urban cohort at this point. We're going to take those on. Yep, continue the mass circling event here. Just everyone war cry, everybody war cry. We'll save some dogs for the second army. Second force needs to be kept back just a little bit. So those auxilia are being chased off. You know what, cataphracts, save your energy. We need to get rid of the second force yet. Right, to be honest with you, we haven't even needed to engage the infantry, which is good news indeed. Head hurlers, please stop what you're doing. We don't need you to waste any of your ammo. Where are my dogs, by the way? Get back here, dogs. I know you want to chase them down. Do not worry about it. That is absolutely fine. Right, we're looking good. The second force is coming in, and we are just going to mop up what we can. So let's just get all of our chariots to try and mobilise themselves. Who's the weakest? To be honest, none of you are particularly weak, are you? No, you're all doing fine. Okay, just go and mop up the legionary cohort. Cataphracts, likewise, you come and join us. What have we got for the second force then? They're actually not as elite, are they? But there's obviously more of them than they've got a general. So let's go and get... Ooh, there we go. I'll tell you what we should do. Let's go and get some cataphracts into these trees over here. I reckon they'll be able to hide in good time here. Now let's get the rest of these chariots. Yeah, the rest of these chariots. And Factionaire, by the way, he wasn't the general, so that's 50 odd chariots to us, just to keep us happy. So over there, get yourself in position. Infantry, I just need to reform the line really, but essentially we are completely unhurt by that. All we've done is do a little bit of a war cry just to warm up, but in general, yeah, absolutely no problems whatsoever. Just keep this one unit over here. Not too worried about any of this. They are very spread out, aren't they? They are indeed. Right, Town Watch. and Praetorians. Okay, lovely. You get yourselves straight into those guys. I think we'll be mopping them up without too many problems. You guys back on, please. What have we got over here? The Roman armor general. Okay, cataphracts, get yourself in. Swordsman, charge in. Get the attack on them, please. Over here, what do we have? Cavalry auxiliary. Don't worry about the Hastata. Get the cavalry auxiliary. That is good. Right, we've got the cataphracts out of the forest. We've actually got a little bit of a foresty ambush here, and that general is not going to like it when the cataphracts engage with him. No, it is not. We can't really catch him. Oh, we absolutely slaughtered him. Okay, all of you, get into them. Dogs, just chase those guys down. Honestly, you might as well just do something at this point. The general's gone, so it's not really too much to worry about with these guys. Honestly, what I would like is my infantry at this point to just kind of start running. Actually, just all of you just charge in over here. Oh, there's a unit here. That's where the dogs are, of course. Okay, General, get yourself around that flank. That's what I want you to do. Cataphracts, you hit the archers. That will clear them out without any problems. And these guys can just start pinning these chaps back into position. Lovely. Looks like the cavalry auxiliary are coming back in. We'll get the head hurlers to go and deal with those chaps. Yep, cleared them out. That's those guys gone as well. Lovely stuff. The timing has been just perfect. There's quite a lot of fronts going on here. These guys are broken too. Let's just get all of my forces then in this direction at this point, because it looks like we just need to finish off this part of the battlefield. Otherwise, it is just a mop-up job. So get the ballistas. Apart from one of you, you can get the Praetorian cohort. This has been very successful indeed. But there's one unit over here. Get the early legionary cohort, everybody. This is actually my missile troops at this point, but it doesn't really matter. They're pretty darn good in battle anyway. So hopefully we'll just get a break on with the general. Yeah, we have. Good news, good news. Right, that is a lot simpler to take this city than I imagined. Now, they probably will have a little bit left here because, yes, there are certainly people getting away from this battle. Not too worried about that. We'd like to get these cavalry because they keep running all the way across the battlefield, and there's no way we should be missing them at this point. So, all of you get on those guys, apart from one of you, just chase down those archers. Lovely stuff. Right. Nice to use a bit of the forest here today. I think the cataphracts jumping out of the forest certainly helps against the Roman general. But yeah, largely the battle is done, and we can go have ourselves a lovely nap in this slightly dilapidated old villa here. Heroic victory for us there. We certainly know how to take on the Romans at this point. Mordred of Verulamium, which is Verulamium, which is, I think, St Albans, isn't it? Of modern day England, just north of London. So, good news, Retium is completely empty. They have put another unit in there because I wasn't actually putting it under siege at the time because they want it to be a sally battle. So one legionary cohort has popped into there. Can I get my spy in? Might as well open the gate if I can. Now, do I have any others around? I'm not sure I do, actually. I'm a bit short on them. Oh yeah, I have them actually in these armies. So Arthur, send your spy in there. 51% chance. And I reckon one more spy should probably do it, actually. That gives us a very high chance indeed. 6% chance. That is unlucky. Very unlucky. I hope we don't get assassinated now. Okay, 76% chance for you. Yeah, you're going down, sir. That is lovely. You, sir... Yeah, you're what's left from before. Good young chap, but nearly dead. Sneaky, marvellous stuff. Lots of retraining going on. A few taverns and Baltic circles, particularly in Britain. Now we move the capital. We need to build those. Kunfoir, the Catenacci, has got himself married to a wise woman. How lovely, sir. Let's go and have a little look at you. Oh, yes, you're the younger chap over here. So, priestess and a wise woman. Has he just got married to the priestess? Potentially. Potentially he has. It looks like it's the exact same woman. So he's got married to the priestess. It may or may not be the same person as the witch. Who really knows at this point? Alexandria is really, really getting rebellious. And there are noticeably a few Egyptians hanging around at this point. I think what we're going to do is just get a little bit of retraining done and think about how we're going to start attacking, because we need to get our spy out just to make sure we're safe, actually. But on the whole, yeah, I think it's just a case of moving. Because this army is around. There's nothing much in Petra. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be the time. These guys have walked onto our land. I think I'm going to take that as my opportunity to wage war, because I don't really like it, and I'm going to need the pyramids to start moving forward. Right, we have ourselves another force over here. Honestly, I think that'll be much of the same, so I might leave it out if it's not worth it. Assassin, have a go. Failed, but didn't get yourself killed. Okay, not the end of the world. It's always good to have a go at a spy if you have a decent enough assassin. He wasn't that great, to be fair. But yes, we'll see about that. Okay, we'll take them on in time. I won't worry about that. Arthur. Now, Arthur, what do you want to do with you? I suppose you might as well go and take on Ariminum. Annoyingly, he couldn't make it properly. I didn't check that out. I should have been a little bit more careful, but I wasn't. So what can you do? We actually just about have ourselves a spare space, but obviously we're already putting them under siege. I can't go and change that around. Our cataphracts, though, have arrived, which is good news. Some spare cataphracts. They don't seem to take too much damage when we're sitting around the towns. So just, yeah, get a few more of those in is very nice indeed. It certainly helps against the Romans. Up here, not too much going on these towns. I'm just getting a few warband just for the numbers. Got ourselves stone walls. Bericum can have itself a bardic circle. I do like a good pub in York. It's a lovely place for a pub. So we'll be happy with that. Now. Chariot army. Are they going to fancy their chances against them? Because I reckon they might fancy their chances against these guys. So I'm just going to put it under. Oh my god, the gates are open. That is not helpful to us at all on this occasion. But the gates are indeed open. If we could pull them out of the town, that would be lovely. But no, I think we'll just have to reorganise our forces. Right. Need to have a bit of an organisation here. So I have to do a bit of general admin, and I'll get back to you when something interesting pops up. It's probably about time to knock the block off one more Roman over here. So Secundus Papyrus, you can go down. Lovely stuff. That's one more dead Roman. Head over here. We'll take off Gaius Regulus' head next turn. Although we could go for this guy. Probably go for this chap over here though. 33% chance to, what are you, 60? Nah, we'll take on you then, sir. Right, well, let's walk straight into this town then. Nice and simple, a few kills naturally, but exterminate that population, and we have a bit of money. And we can very much do with it, because it does look like, by the way, the Egyptians are shaping up to attack us. So we need to be a little bit careful about that. Good old Arthur then can get himself a load of towers to head into Ariminum. That could be a slightly awkward one. If someone wants to go stand outside it, we will definitely go and take them on. The Romans are going to go stand on the Milvian Bridge for now, which is an interesting one. To see how we're going to attack them in a bit of time. For now, we're looking pretty good. We'll send those chariots back here. We'll send these back to replace ours. Lovely stuff. How is the city, by the way? We actually did very minimal damage, which is nice to see. Some basic sewers, not a bad idea. We'll get up to very high, please. We'll just get some general clickage going on in terms of retraining. That is absolutely marvellous. And over here, yes, we've got Bedivere force, just slightly reorganised. We had to have a little poke with another army there. Much the same, so I've left it out. A little bit less important than the other encounters, I think. Obviously, we can remember the great battle there of 2020 BC, where we beat Captain Appius. Ah, his name was Captain Appius. Was that the same guy with the Appius face? I don't know. I don't think it was, actually. Either way, that is marvellous to see. We can actually press this forward just a little bit. You know what? I wouldn't mind defending on this mountain side. We do have some extra cataphracts coming forward, so they can reinforce us. I have very little knowledge about this part of the world, so what I'm going to do is going to send my spy ahead. So Jessica's looking weak and vulnerable, and Salona, as far as I'm aware, it's weak, but there might well be armies in the fields that I'm less aware about. So you go and help out with Bedivere. I probably should actually be keeping a spy with you, but I currently am not. So, right, Arretium has been captured, And this is always Glaver, wasn't it? So this can be the new St. Albans, I suppose. Or we can just do the town of Mordred. You know what? Let's just call it Mordred. I feel like that's slightly better, actually. So, good old Mordred. Actually, no, we're just going to call it St. Albans. Just a good old St. Albans. Can I get the dot in there? Is it going to like that? It doesn't seem to like it. St. Albans. There we are. We will do it like that. So, St. Albans is over here. Just in North Italy nowadays. Lovely stuff. We have the Temple of Bacchus. Can I afford to get rid of that? Yes, I can. So I'm going to get rid of that, actually. That causes problems, potentially. So trading goods, woad warriors, and the health bonus. Interesting one. What do I actually want here? I'm getting myself the missile troops out of here. So that's good to see. Woad warriors, head hurlers are obviously out there. Druids, I'm getting in one of these towns as well. So otherwise, probably just trade. There's a fair few bits of trade here, aren't there? Just actually, to be fair, it's not as good as I thought. There's a couple bits of iron and not actually much else. You know what? Then we'll go for the first one. We'll go for the good old Brigantia. We'll get the Druids. It'll be very much a similar effect going forward, but yeah, it'll be nice to get the Druids somewhere else. Now my spies are all over the place. We'll get them starting to spread back down south into... Did he just die? A 91% chance. Absolutely ridiculous. 98%. Good, he didn't die. That would have been slightly bonkers if he did. There we are. There are 98% chance of success. Sometimes we might get lucky enough to make that work. Lovely. So. We're getting a bit of retrain over here. Let's get one more spy out for the meantime. Glaver over here. I don't think we actually need too much else. The main thing we need to do over here is just retrain, actually. And that's actually what we need to be doing. Get ourselves... What do we want over here? Just some more light chariots. We'd like them for the field. Out in the field, that works very much in our favour. Take on these rebels. You, sir, go and take some of your chariot. Actually, just take the light chariots. I'm pretty certain you'll be able to win. You know what? We'll send the chariots with you. I'm sure the game will be fine to let you win on this occasion. Lovely stuff. Okay. This army up here can probably start, if we take Segestica, start to move south slightly. To be careful about that. No reaction from the Germans as of yet, by the way. Nothing really happening. We'll just siege this one out for 6 turns. I'm not really bothered about doing that any quicker than that. If they want to take on my chariots in the field, they are absolutely welcome. But otherwise, yes, it just looks like we're very slowly creeping into Italy. Armenium should fall next time, and that will leave us with Rome. Rome, the next target. Very interesting indeed. I don't know if I'm going to go around Rome and do a bit of a Hannibal, just go smash up the rest of the country before I get around to Rome. Obviously, never really got around to it. But yes, we're looking to do that if we can. And these boats, by the way, have been clearing things out. We're looking an awful lot stronger on the seas at this point. Yes, a few boats left around from earlier encounters. We'll just go and mop them all up. Yeah, I'm very much looking to try and dominate the sea at this point. So I might well continue to get a few more boats out in these two towns. Lastly, before I leave you for today then, let's go have a quick reminder what's happening down here in Alexandria. Yeah, they have themselves their force outside. I'm just going to see if that will tease them, to be honest with you. I'm just interested to see if that will do anything for them. Now, obviously, the town's going to be very unhappy, but they might well give me a poke. I can see they've got an army over here. So, yes, they might well come and try and deal with me in time. Bostra, nothing too much around there. Jerusalem, nothing too much. There's one big army hanging around, but honestly, you'd expect the odd force to be here or there, but I don't like the way they're facing. It's just they might well be coming for me. Should I have a preemptive strike? Probably not. I don't know. We'll have to solve the Egyptian problem next time, ladies and gentlemen. For now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas. This is Tenos the Human, and this has been a King Arthur campaign. Thank you, and goodbye. So what more could you want in the morning than to chop down some Frenchmen? Sir Steve, he stands on the plaza. He will never die, Sir Steve. We will honour you with that great man's moustache. He's not happy. Oh, he flew into the side of the house. That looks really painful. Beautiful.